Hello, it's Richard at Richard's Guitars. Oh my goodness! Oh my god, there's so much going on. I've got something incredibly exciting to talk to you about today. And it's one of those situations where it's so, I think it's so significant, and I'm very proud to be kind of right at the front of all of this. And I think this year could be the year for Auden guitars. I have not discussed them on my videos, and I was introduced to Auden guitars through Gordon Smith, Doug Sparks from Gordon Smith Guitars. So when Gordon Smith Guitars took over from, when Doug Sparks took over from John Smith, you probably know a bit of the story involving that. And I immediately knew that Doug was somebody that really cared. It got to the point where I said to Doug, these guitars are absolutely gorgeous. However, I'm just a little bit, the only thing that's holding me back is the nut width. And in order for me to sort of put this into the zone of, let's say for example, a Furch guitar. Now Furch guitars, my baby, as I call it, at 1699 in the Furch territory is called the Yellow Series now at 1699. So I said to Doug, if only these had a 45mm nut. So, let me show you something. After about 18 months of waiting, I can show you something I'm just beyond, I cannot believe is occurring. So if you look at that, hopefully that'll zoom in on that there. That's the Auden 45. The little logo there was inspired by the old 45 RPM on the record. So if you're old enough to remember 45 RPM records, I kind of stole it from there, or inspired by. You see the nice open tuners. Now, these guitars are incredible. They're absolutely, utterly jaw-dropping, and they arrived 48 hours ago. Within less than a day of them being in my shop, someone's taken one away already. I'm a bit, oh no, they haven't taken it away, it's here. It's here, the Cedar non-cutaway model, and I'll be ever so careful with it. So the person who's bought it, I'm sorry, I am using it, but I have to, because I have to get this out and get people to be aware that this exists. These guitars I have here are the only models of their kind. The 45mm concept is one that I kind of, if you like, demanded off Doug, because I was so desperate for these guitars to be in my shop in a kind of form that I could kind of be absolutely connected with. And I've just got to show you. Now look, just check out the Rosewood on this particular model, for example. Now this is classic example of the detail, the quality of these guitars. So if you look at the bindings on that edge, the bindings are absolutely just utterly beautiful, exquisite. The woods are all completely matched. So if you see the top there, the rosewood in that top and all that lovely beautiful tight grain, that will be matched with the grain on the bottom. Okay, so it's what you just call matched back and sides. So there's continuity between the top and the back and the sides in terms of the quality of rosewood. Look at that beautiful spruce, amazing grain on that spruce. I don't know if that comes up. Abalone rosette. Now the gubbins inside here. This is another incredibly important thing. This is a brand new development in the range. Now it's also new that I can't even talk to you about the particular specs. I can only talk vaguely and tell you how wonderful it sounds. But what soon I'll be able to show you a little, like in the insides of this guitar. Well, not this guitar, because it'll break. But the insides of a test guitar. Oh goodness, my battery's going on my phone. So I'll keep talking until it goes. So the EQ, we have the EQ, we have four, I believe it's four kind of preset EQ setting, voicings. In here there is a bass stroke internal condenser mic, which is picking up the bass frequencies and the rumblings from inside the guitar, as well as 6 individual piezo pickups here. 6 individual pickups picking up the individual string resonance. The result is an electro acoustic sound which is just off the scale in terms of its creative use, if you like. All the different kind of sounds that you can produce and the broad array of tones. Acoustically, they're just utterly jaw-dropping. So this is the first one. This one's Spruce Rosewood. And the sound that I get from this, that is just utterly amazing. Very, very much in that kind of vein that I absolutely adore. So that's Spruce Rosewood. And this guitar is £14.99, okay? Remember this, £1,499 for the absolutely exquisite workmanship, the inlays, the beautiful hardware, the most unbelievable quality electronics. And when you hear the... Hello! This is the seamless edit. Okay, so I'm going to act like we didn't have a problem there. The battery didn't run out. So where was I before the battery ran out? So yeah, I was saying about the quality of the pickup in here. So yeah, there's this incredible pickup which you're going to hear a lot more about. It's going to be, without question, it's going to be in the press. I know there were a lot of manufacturers jumping for this pickup to get into association with the builder of this pickup, because the designer behind this pickup was involved with the person who designed this pickup was involved with the Maton Australian handmade guitars. The pickups that went in those guitars, the chap who's involved with the design of this pickup system was involved with that pickup, and those Maton guitars are absolutely off the scale quality. So trust me, this is just, there's going to be a lot of news about this pickup, and it's included in all of these Auden guitars now. So that's a big deal, and I'm going to be talking a lot more about it. It sounds utterly incredible. So yeah, so I was showing you the sound of the Spruce Rosewood, which I absolutely adore. There's a sound that I clearly like, because I think when you sort of say something like defined and detailed and has a kind of a rich texture, people are like, oh, do you mean? Maybe I kind of like that sound a little more over the kind of deep woody tones or slightly softer edge sounds. It's hard to explain. There are certain sounds that I love. So now there's that. Now check out this one. You're gonna just, well, hopefully you won't die, but you'll kind of love it. Now then, drum roll, drum roll, drum roll. 45 in my 45 series. These are made for me. I can't believe this. This 45, like, you know, I designed that. I didn't design the logo. Obviously, I said to you, I copied it, but I'm very proud of the fact that I kind of connected it with the logo, and I just think it looks really cool. Now, check out this. Have you ever seen? Oh my God, Doug, what are you doing to me, Doug? This is, as Doug basically said. You know, when it comes to grading wood, you know, it's subjective. But this would be like your A top 5-star A rose maple, because it's just absolutely, utterly jaw-dropping. And again, if you just look at the quality of every aspect of this guitar, you can't fault it. There is just nothing to fault. It's just beautiful. Heel joints, you know, that kind of thing. Absolutely amazing. And beautiful machine heads. Oh yay! And the logo. Oh, doesn't that look amazing? I just think that works so well. Cool. 45mm nut, obviously. So now I've talked so much, you won't remember the sound of the other one. But what is great about this. This epitomizes why people use maple. The Chester is what you call. This is actually kind of like a dreadnought Lauerbout. So this is kind of like a dreadnought, but this goes more kind of folk body here. So it's kind of a hybrid. So it gives you this full body sound, but because it gets smaller here and there's more waist here, it doesn't feel like a big guitar, but it's kind of on the bigger side, even though it feels incredibly comfortable. So that's the way I describe it. But it enables you to get these lovely sounds. Now the reason why that is just such a special sound let me tell you about why I think maple is so cool. Maple is a brighter tone wood, and so therefore the brightness lends itself really well to a larger body guitar, particularly I think, because the larger body, or the fullness of the body, will give you a more natural woofing kind of sound, and the maple balances it beautifully. So what you end up with is this lovely full volume balanced overall sound. Rosewood is more, there's definitely more texture in layers, and what I would say is there's more bass and treble. So although this is overall a brighter tone wood, Rosewood, I would argue, has greater emphasis over bass and treble. And by having greater emphasis over bass and treble, that naturally gives you this kind of, these opposite sounds, the bass and the treble. So you get the detail. Can you see what I mean? You get the bass coming out and the treble coming out. And so therefore you get this very detailed sound by removing the middle, okay? With a maple, there's a lighter overall, so the overall EQing is more towards the brighter sound, but let's just say there's more mid in there and bass together. So you may have a more mid, I always call it like a lighter shade mahogany. It's a light flavored mahogany. So mahogany is a more balanced overall bass, middle and treble sound. It's kind of more, it has this more even tonality to it. But if you consider maple as being like mahogany, but with a brighter shade, with a treble turned up a bit, that's the way I describe it. So it's a kind of overall flatter texture, but on the brighter side. Now, what that makes it really good for, and this is the really cool bit, if you're a big strumming guitar player, look at this, I can whack this thing. I mean, you can whack it, and the point, it doesn't sort of become, well, maybe the microphone will probably make it sound crap, but well, and my playing obviously, but the point being is, it doesn't, the overtones don't kind of destroy the sound. Now, I'm not suggesting it's going to on this one, I'll probably completely embarrass myself now, but if I play one, now this is Rosewood, this is back to the Rosewood one, so can you hear that natural, it's got that kind of lovely detail going on. Theoretically, that extra detail may make this sound a little bit brasher when I play the chords. And I haven't tried this, so I'm going to probably completely make this pull myself. So let's do the same sort of thing. Yeah, I'm trying to bash it. It just does sound to me a bit more raucous. That could be me just being crap out. Yeah. It just holds it, doesn't it? It's more held together. It's just great. So I'm kind of, and I was, so if you're playing a bit more like that, it would, you know, you can hear it copes with it beautifully. So I think it makes a great strummer, a really, really great strummer. Look at that. Whoa. 1499 with the most unbelievable pickup system. So these are handmade guitars. obviously from China in terms of their origin. So if that's going to hold you against this little beauty, then don't buy it. If you want a work of art that's handmade with the most unbelievable quality woods, the most unbelievable pickup system, which I'll tell you a bit more about later, and obviously my little baby, then you might like one of those. 45mm nut is really, really genuinely, once you go to the regular ones after playing these, for me, I've got one. This is a little Marlowe here. This is a little Marlowe. This is actually a 14 fret parlour. But look at the neck. The neck, it feels a little bit, for me, it just feels, clearly it's not a toy. Sorry, Doug. But when I go back to this neck, I just feel it's all a bit cramped. Why would I want the neck to be like that? The string spacing for me is just, for me personally, just a bit too tight. I love the sound of the guitars. Oh my God, and that one's gorgeous. Finally, well, not finally, look at this. Here's a non-cutaway. Oh my God. I just can't believe. Okay, look. So this is the non-cutaway version of that maple. Look at that. So this is, and some people like to cutaway, so that's understandable. But if you like the symmetry, of a guitar, which I actually love as well, a guitar just looks great, especially when it's got this kind of level of quality of wood. Look at that, just crazy. When you've got a guitar with that level of quality of finish, it's nice to have the symmetry. It just kind of works. Very, very elegant. Yes, very nice. I like you. Then here's the baby that's just been sold, and understandably this chap again liked the symmetry, but overall he liked the sound, of course. He played all these different guitars. Initially he came in with the idea of I'm sorry, Eastman. He was coming in to play an Eastman guitar, which is absolutely terrific. But the point being is, this is the really critical, important point. This is a Cedar top guitar. He fell in love with the sound of Cedar. Eastman don't do a Cedar. Eastman do Cedar guitars. I keep telling you. But he fell in love with the Cedar sound. So clearly he wasn't going to get a Cedar guitar from Eastman at this point in time. Although they are bringing out a cheap, they've just brought out a cheaper Cedar top Electro. So maybe they're heeding my words a little bit. One day. And also his budget crept up as well, so he was able, this is obviously $14.99, so and this is the Cedar, and it's absolute. Now the difference between Spruce and Cedar, the Cedar just has a slightly warmer oh, it's lush, isn't it? You're killing me. You're killing me with beautiful guitars. Oh, so look, I'm surrounded by my absolute babies. They're absolutely beautiful. So, and I've obviously focused on the. That's really important, actually. I've been focusing on the. Chester, but there is also the Bowman as well, which is absolutely beautiful. Oh, hang on. I should do it because I should show you, because it is so beautiful, and they're all beautiful. But I asked Doug, and it would be really wrong of me not to show it to you when I've asked for it. This is the OM body guitar. So right at the end of showing you all these, look at that Cedar, beautiful abalone inlays. Same spec, obviously all the same spec, same pickup system in there. Same 45mm nut. Oh yes. And now you get obviously smaller body, slightly more middle in sound, a little less bass, overpowering bass, you could say. The bass will always be bigger and fuller on a bigger body guitar. You could argue either it's going to focus more towards the picking kind of players, but also anybody that just wants a smaller compact guitar, because you can strum a small body guitar as good, which I'll show you in a second. Just, oh, what a am I going to do with this? There you go, the same sort of thing. You can hear though, can't you, that it's more refined, a little bit more. So even when you're strumming it, that directly to, because that would help, wouldn't it? If I compare that directly to this big body, so you can see the slightly bigger body, maybe slightly different tuning. You hear that? Bigger body, bigger body, bigger body. Smaller body, smaller body, smaller body. It's just slightly tighter, isn't it? You hear that kind of slightly tighter, and that's the way it should be. But yeah, beautiful. Right, that's that. Now, different video really, but I'm just going to end it by telling you this is a lead in for another video. I'm not going to do it tonight, I'm too tired now. I'm too much energy going to that. This is just crazy, crazy, crazy. This will be the next video, okay? They have done something else that I absolutely begged them to do, and I am so proud that they've done it. It's £799. It is an all solid parlour. What I'll be saying to you is anybody that's got an order in the system for the new Auden, well, you know, the Sheeran by Auden guitars, you really want to also just absolutely make sure that you don't just want, you know, obviously there's a lot of positive things about the Sheeran guitars because, you know, made in Ireland, so they're made locally. You know, clearly buying into the whole Auden thing, which is all fantastic. Ed Sheeran, good man for promoting guitars. The other end of the scale is all solid woods, unbelievable EQ system, small body, slotted headstock, 799. So it's just beautiful, just amazing. So that is going to be. I'm just going to talk about it separately. Oh my goodness. And don't forget, Gordon Smith, we're all, I'll be doing a video on this little baby soon. So thank you to Doug and all the guys at Auden / Gordon Smith for bringing this to me. Just crazy. Let me know what you think in the comments below about what you thought about the sound of the guitars. And your general kind of feedback. Auden just won, certainly won a big award for Guitar of the Year. I think it was a 12-string they've just done, and this year is going to be their year because the development with this pickup system is incredible. That's really going to put them on the map, and I'd like to believe that putting the 45mm certainly into my hands is going to be a big deal. That's going to make a big difference. So fingers crossed you love them as much as well as I hope you love them as much as the gentleman that walked in. He was not coming in to buy that guitar, and as I say, he had a shop full that he could have tried, and he's literally picked. And I wasn't, just so that you know, I wasn't even in the room. Okay, he doesn't even know what I think of these guitars, and he picked out the exact guitar that I absolutely adore. Okay, cheers guys, nice to speak again on the video. It's been a while, it's been mad, and hopefully you got something from that. Okay, bye.